What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Are You a Werewolf from Looney Labs. This is for 7 to 16 players, ages 12 to adult, and it'll take you about 20 to 60 minutes to play. And in Are You a Werewolf, you will be taking control of a villager or a werewolf, and you will be trying to eliminate the other team. But the catch is, you're not going to know most of the time who is or isn't on your team. Ooh, all the deception, all the good stuff. Now, Werewolf is an incredibly popular game that has actually been manufactured by a couple different companies, and I've played a lot of the different ones, so I'm actually going to be giving you my opinions, not so much on the game, but on this particular copy of Werewolf. So let's open it up, check it out. Alright, then we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Are You a Werewolf from Looney Labs. First and foremost, we have a handy-dandy rule sheet. It is one-page, double-sided, black and white, and it's well done. I mean, the game is very, very simple, and this will teach you how to play and have you up and running in no time at all. They do have some recommendations, which I like, how to play. And they also have a moderator script is one thing which I definitely think is nice to have, especially if you're newer to the game. So this is a very bare-bones copy of Werewolf that you're going to be getting here. There's numerous different copies of Werewolf from numerous different companies, and Looney Labs went with the bare-bones route, so I'll show you what you're going to get. You're going to get cards. You're going to get, I believe, 12 villager cards, which are going to be people who are trying to hunt down the werewolves, because in this game, you're going to have a secret role that no one else knows most of the time, unless, of course, you're a werewolf, and you are going to be trying to either, if you're a werewolf, eliminate the villagers, or if you're a villager, hunt down the werewolves and try and hang them, get them out of your city. If you can do that, then you will be the winner. So there's going to be werewolves who are all going to be working on a team. They're going to know who each other are, and they're going to be trying to kill off all the villagers. There's going to be the moderator, which is going to be a person playing the game, but not really playing the game. You don't actually have a role. You're just going to be running the game. Think if you've ever played a role-playing game, you're going to be more like a dungeon master or a GM, something like that. Last but not least, you're going to have the seer. This is the only superpower that they have included in the game. The seer, once per night, is going to be able to point at one other player at the table, and the moderator is going to either give them a thumbs up that they are in fact a werewolf, or a thumbs down that they are not a werewolf. Pretty simple stuff. Next, you're also going to get 3 blank cards. These will be used if you want to create your own roles, because there are literally hundreds of different roles that you can play in this game. So we'll go over a quick mock game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players. So we'll take out 2 villagers. So we'll have 1 werewolf, 1 seer, and 5 villagers, and I'll show you real quick how this works. Obviously, we got the moderator. He's just going to be running the game. The moderator is going to mix up all of these cards, and then he is going to hand out a card to each person like so. You're going to look at this card once and never look at it again. So let's see. Villager. That guy's a villager. That guy's a villager. Seer. So there's one superpower guy. And then right next to the werewolf, the villager, and the villager. And when you start off the game, what's going to happen is, normally you would have a phase, well, you still will have a phase, where everyone's going to put their head down, they're going to tap the table, and they're going to close their eyes, put their head down, and the moderator's going to say, "Hey, werewolves, open your eyes." And the werewolf will open his eyes, he'll look at the moderator to make sure the moderator knows who the werewolf is, and then he will look at any of the other werewolves, because they would be working on a team. Obviously, in this example, there is no team. Then he's going to say, "All right, put your head down, werewolf," and then he's going to say, "Seer, open your eyes." So then the seer, right there, is going to open his eyes, and then he's going to look at the moderator, and then you will start the day. And what you're going to do during the day phase is you are going to have a majority vote, and you're going to vote on who you want to eliminate from the city. You'll be doing that by putting your arm like this, putting your hand up like that, and if you have a majority, then that person will be banished or hung, however you want to do it. So let's just pretend that the first time they get rid of this guy. So he's gone, which now means there are 5 villagers and the 1 werewolf. And then at the night phase, what's going to happen is the werewolf, who is right, there's not that many cards, right there, is actually going to wake up, and he's going to eliminate 1 person. He's going to point to that person. The moderator's going to say, "Okey dokey," and then also during the night phase, the seer is going to wake up, and he's going to point at 1 person. Let's just pretend he points at this guy right here, and he's going to say thumbs down, because that is, of course, as we know, a villager. So now the seer is going to have a very valuable piece of information, know that this person is in fact on their team, and they can trust each other, but this person doesn't know that they can trust that person, and that's where all the head games and the psychological stuff comes into play. So they would wake up the next day, this guy would be eliminated, and then we would be down to 5. And then at this point, everyone's going to be voting again and trying to vote out the werewolf. And you're going to continue to go on until it's either a 50-50 ratio of werewolves and people, at which point the werewolves win, or until all the werewolves have been killed or banished from the city. And at which point either the villagers or the werewolf will win. And that, in a nutshell, is how Are You a Werewolf is played.
Alrighty then, Are You a Werewolf from Looney Labs. What are my finals? Let's go to the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, I'm just going to over the pros. I love Werewolf. I will always love Werewolf. Werewolf is fantastic. Let's get that out of the way. So this is, in fact, a fantastic game if you don't have any other copies of Werewolf. But let's get to just this particular copy of Werewolf, because I think that's the best way to review this. So pros and cons of this particular copy. The biggest con side, and the obvious one, is that this is a very, very bare-bones copy of Werewolf. Now, they do give you the 3 additional cards where you can add in new roles, which I like, but, there's so many other copies of Werewolf, or there's so many other versions of Werewolf that have so many special ability cards. And those special ability cards are really where the game gets fun. I'll normally, when I teach Werewolf, and I do play it an awful lot, I probably play this game more than just about any other game I play out there, because I play it at, family get-togethers, company get-togethers. I play it at the teen camp and the young adult camps I go to when I work with kids. So this game gets played an awful lot. I don't know where I was going with that. But anywho, I normally always play with just the vanilla stuff, where it's werewolves and the seer and the villager, which is included in this game. But then the second game, I always start adding in new rules, and that's, in my opinion, is what gives this game such great legs, are those new roles. So not having it in there is definitely a big con, even though they do give you the 3 blank cards. Another thing is the artwork is neither here nor there. It didn't impress me. It didn't wow me. The cards are serviceable, but they're definitely an odd size. They're the Looney Lab size. So if you want to sleeve them, that will be a little bit of a nuisance. That's really the only cons I have with this game, and they are pretty big cons, though, that this is a bare bones game. Moving on to the pros, though. This is one of those games that I was debating. Do I give this a positive review? Do I give this a negative review? And there's one main reason why I am giving this a positive review, and that is this is without a doubt, unless you're just going to modify a deck of cards, the cheapest copy of Werewolf that you are going to find, I'm pretty sure. This is $6 on Amazon. Now, granted, it's only like 20-something cards, but still, $6. I mean, that is just absolutely dirt cheap. And I guarantee you that if you play this game, you're probably going to get your $6 worth. So, you're going to have to factor it in. Now, granted, there are tons of other versions of Werewolf that have numerous different roles and all sorts of cool stuff that you can mix and match and just have tons of variability. But this one, it's portable, it's compact, which I like, but granted, there are also other copies of Werewolf which are portable and compact. So the biggest selling point of this game is definitely going to be the price point. At $6, has a nice, sturdy little box, which hopefully one day we'll see some expansions. I'd like if they had, an extra 20-card expansion pack that you could put in here, because there's plenty of room in the box insert. But overall, Are You a Werewolf? I'm lukewarm on this one. It's not personally for me, since I have other versions of Werewolf that have all these different cards in them. But if you are just looking for the base, light, introductory game of Werewolf, look no further. This is dirt cheap, and it will get the job done, which is always a good thing. So these essentially are the ramen noodles of Werewolf, if you want to go with that. So, in the comments below, let me know, do you like Werewolf? Do you hate Werewolf? Do you love Werewolf? Me personally, I love Werewolf. I play it every year at Gen Con. I play it with my kids. I play it at family get-togethers, all the other stuff I mentioned. I adore Werewolf, but I understand why some people hate it. I also love player eliminations. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts, and as always, if you enjoyed this content, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below, and as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.
That was the review for Are You a Werewolf? For more reviews and previews, check back at Bauer's Game Corner.